Hey everybody, Cheapo Deluxe here. Welcome to the good life. Hey everybody, Cheapo Deluxe here. How y'all doing today? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Listen, I want to talk about something a little bit different today. No show and tell? Kinda show and tell. Talk about something that's, really important, and I'm sure you guys already know all this stuff. I want to talk about handgun safety. It never hurts to have a list of safe practices and just keep going through these lists in your head. Just constantly reminding yourself. I do it every time I pull a handgun out and I'm going to go to the range. I go through this list of safety stuff that I've learned by watching YouTube. Just learned basically ever since I've been handling guns. But it's always good to be reminded because you do tend to forget things, especially when you get as old as I am or older like I am. I'm not going to say as old as I am. Not that old, but I'm starting to feel it though. Anyway, do have this handgun here. It is my Canik MC9 Prime. It is empty. Nothing in that magazine, nothing in that mag well, nothing in the chamber at all. Safety first, you want to check twice. Magazine still empty. Pull that, point it in the safe direction once you know it's empty. Okay, so golden rule number one, always assume a handgun is loaded. Never just assume that somebody's handing you an empty gun. Never assume you're picking one up that out of your own gun cabinet or your gun safe that's empty. It was loaded at one time. Double check, make sure it still ain't loaded. That being said, you want to put your finger never on the trigger. Just keep your finger off the trigger. Drop that magazine. Make sure there's nothing in there. Pull that slide back, lock it back, look down in there. Seen 100 videos, well, maybe not 100, but something stuck in my mind is the only safe handgun that's 100% safe is one that slides locked open, and you can see that there's nothing in there. It's a good rule. Doesn't necessarily have to be the way you look at things. I mean, it's definitely true. That is a safe handgun, nothing in there. But somebody hands you a handgun, first thing you want to do is drop that magazine out of there. Pull that slide back. Lock it open. Take a look at it. Look at it again. Put your finger down in there. That's a safe handgun. That being said, you can close that, point that in a safe direction, and pull that trigger just so it's not cocked. Okay, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to put this magazine back in there because if I leave it laying here, I'll lose it. But it is empty, YouTube, so enough of that. Okay, rule number one, always assume a gun is loaded. Just never assume that somebody's handing you a gun that isn't loaded. Okay, rule number one. Number two, never put your finger on that trigger until you're ready to pull that trigger. You always keep it pointed in a safe direction, away from everybody. Even if it's unloaded, you got dummy rounds in there, it's, slide back, you still ain't gonna point that at anybody unless you intend on, you know what I mean? So anyway, at all times, keep that thing pointed in a safe direction, away from you, away from anybody else. Even if you know it's unloaded, it's not funny to even point a gun at somebody. It's not a joke, and it'll get you in trouble. So never point a gun at nobody. Keep that finger off the trigger. I know I'm getting out of order, so number one, always assume it's loaded. Number two, always point it in a safe direction, away from somebody. away from people, away from animals, away from whatever. If you don't intend on shooting it, don't point it at it. Number 3, finger off the trigger at all times until you are ready, you have something in sight and you're ready to shoot. Then you put your finger on the trigger, pull that trigger, but only then. Don't run around with your finger on the trigger. You're going to trip. You're going to do something. You're going to pull that trigger, and boom, accidents happen. But if your finger was on that trigger, it wasn't an accident, because the gun won't go off by itself. It needs your finger on there. Okay. Never point your gun at anything you're not willing to shoot or destroy. Yeah, if you're not willing to, say that's a target right there, okay? If I'm not willing to pull my trigger and put a hole in that target, don't point it at the target. I guess you can. That'd be the only safe thing to point a gun at. But and when you do, when you're ready to shoot, probably number 5, you can write these down. I'll put them up there one time so you can look at them. Yeah, you want to make sure you're surrounded. As you point that gun at something, know what's on the other side of what you're shooting at. Know what's on both sides of what you're shooting at. Know what's below it. Know what's above it. That way there's, bullets ricochet. And, I'm going to repeat myself a lot. I'm going to mumble through this a lot. But I'm going to go back through this list at the end. I get done talking about it and make it clear. So, yeah, you want to know what's in front of your gun, what you're aiming at. You want to know what your target is. Okay, and I'm looking at my list over here when I look over here, and I'm going to go over that list a lot clearer when I'm done, because right now I'm just mumbling, so you guys can giggle all you want. I know. Use a holster to carry your gun when it's loaded. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to carry it in a holster when it's not loaded. You don't be walking around with a loaded gun. Somebody's going to call the police on you. Somebody may think you're ready to do something, and they might fire on you. So, yeah, always have your gun holstered. There's no reason to not have it holstered unless you're going to actually use it. What's the next one? Keep your firearm out of reach of small children. Actually, you should keep it out of reach of all children, just because most kids aren't mature enough to know that it's not a toy. They're gonna want to play with it. Keep it locked up if you have to. I mean, you got 2-year-old kids or whatever. They're not gonna climb top of the closet. Well, I would hope not. So just be sensible. You know where your gun's safe at. Just keep it away from children. Don't let them get their hands on it. And when you do, make sure they're supervised. You teach them safety practices. Take them shooting. Everybody, I think, should know how to handle a gun. Just make sure they're mature enough when you want to start teaching them how to shoot. Always use the correct ammunition. Don't put something in there that doesn't belong in that gun. Like 22 longs or 22 magnums. You make sure that gun can handle those mag loads. I don't know what would happen if it can't, because I've never done it. I don't know if they'd blow up. I don't know. Just make sure you're using the correct ammunition. Read your manual. It'll tell you what type of ammo to use. So other than that, just follow your safety practices. Get them in your head. Don't go outside of those safety practices. Just practice. Keep safety in mind at all times. That's really the only true way to be safe. Have fun. Train with your gun. You know, get a lot of practice in with it so you know how to use it properly. So, yeah, I think everybody should have a handgun. I think you should be allowed to have a handgun. Now, by law, if you're, you know, you're underage or got some issues, or not allowed to have one, by all means, you shouldn't have one. But I think it's every American's right to have a handgun. It's Second Amendment. Anyway, yeah, don't let me go on that because there's all kinds of things going on and people who's going to tell you different, and guns kill. Guns don't kill. People kill. Gun ain't going to go off unless you pull the trigger. You're safe. Unloaded gun, I don't think has ever killed anybody unless you hit them with it. But anyway, yeah. All right, so let me look at my list here. We're going to go over this list, and I'm going to read it exactly as it's written. Number 1, treat every gun as if it was loaded. We went over that. Somebody hands you a gun, check it. Drop that magazine. Pull that slide open. Make sure that thing's unloaded. Number 2, keep that gun pointed in a safe direction at all times. That means away from you, away from anybody else, away from anything that, you know, you don't intend on shooting. Safe directions, just away from people, away from animals, whatever, unless you're going to use it. Number 3, don't point your gun at anything that you're not willing to destroy. Something you're willing to shoot. If you're willing to shoot it, I guess you point your gun at it, but until you have it in your sights and you've got it locked on your target, don't pull that trigger. So that's number 4. Keep your finger off the trigger until you are on target and ready to fire. I just told you exactly what that means. Finger goes, it belongs here. Until, I got nothing over there, so I can point. Until you're locked on that target and you know it's safe to pull that trigger. Then you can put your finger on that trigger and pull it. Until then, keep your finger off that trigger. Number 5, always positively identify your target before firing. These kind of common sense, they go, some of these overlap the other ones, but it's a redundant safety thing, so be redundant with your safety. It doesn't make you look dumb. It doesn't make you look overcautious. It makes you smart. It makes you think about what you're doing. Redundancy is good. Number 6, be aware of what is in front, behind, and to the sides of your target. Absolutely. Also above it and below it, know what's there. 360, 180, whatever, however that is, I believe that's 360. Know what's on every side of that target before you pull that trigger, because you may miss your target and somebody or something's on the other side of that target and the bullet didn't stop. That bullet doesn't stop until it stops on its own, and I saw this the other day. You're responsible for that bullet until it stops moving. If you hit something you're not supposed to, you're probably still responsible for that bullet. So, safety first, always. Number 7, use a holster when carrying a loaded handgun. Keep it in that holster until you're ready to put it on target, until you're ready to pull that trigger. Maybe a little bit different if you're hunting with it, but keep it in your holster until you get where you're going. Yeah. Probably a good idea to keep an unloaded holster or unloaded gun in a holster too. Just like I said, you don't be walking around holding the gun even though it's unloaded. Somebody's going to see you holding it, and they're either going to call the police, or they're going to pull out their own gun, a gun of their own that isn't unloaded, because they don't know your gun's not loaded. So, yeah, probably good practice just to keep it holstered. And if you conceal it, you're probably even better off. That's a whole nother video, safely concealing and open carry. But I'm not going to get into that. Keep them out of reach of small children. Keep them out of reach of children, period. Children, they're called children for a reason. Once they're an adult, you know, and they can legally purchase their own handgun, they're kind of on their own. I wouldn't say they're on their own. You teach them right. Teach them right from the very beginning. Always make sure they're supervised. Get them some classes, you know. If you don't feel comfortable teaching your children how to use a handgun, get them certified. Take them somewhere to a range where they got an instructor that'll instruct them how to safely use a gun, how to unload it, load it, all the safety rules. It can't hurt. Safety first. Yeah, I can't stress that enough. And I know I'm going to keep rambling, but okay, that's the way it goes. Number 9, always use the correct ammunition. Look at your owner's manual on your gun. Make sure you're using the right ammo. Don't put the wrong stuff in there. Something bad's going to happen. I don't know exactly what would happen. I don't even want to think what could happen, but something bad is going to happen. Use the right ammo. Make sure your gun's in good condition. Make sure your ammo is in good condition. You know, that's kind of common sense stuff, but some people, you know, they just lack a little bit of that. So think about these things every time you take your handgun out of your safe, your cabinet, or whatever you're going to do. You go to the gun range, just go through this list of stuff. Because I tell you what, you go to the gun range and you don't handle this gun safely, they're not going to let you come back to their range. So practice begins, I guess, at home, your safety practices. And, you know, if you don't feel comfortable handling a gun, go to a certified instructor. Go to somebody who's been doing it for a long time. You know, there's a lot of people out there that always know more than you do. So there you go. That's another one too. And I know this list could go on and on. We could talk about gun safety for hours. But these 10 rules, these will never change. Just keep them in mind. And the last one is train hard, stay safe, and have fun. You know, guns aren't scary. People are scary. So, you know, have fun shooting your gun. Just do it safely. Train with it. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, people. Be safe. Accidents happen, but if it's because of carelessness, I don't think it's an accident. That's carelessness. Accidents happen when it's something completely out of your control. Carelessness is something that you just didn't pay close enough attention to make sure you're doing the safe thing. So accidents should never happen with handguns. Anyway, I'm rambling. The list I'll put up for y'all to see if I haven't already put it up. Thanks for watching again. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me how retarded I am. But I guarantee this, you go shooting with me, you're going to be safe. For me anyway. Yeah, it's no joke. These handguns, they're not a joke. They're not toys. And you should never treat them as a toy. So, yep, safety first. Y'all behave. Be safe. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and check out some more of my videos. Take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps.